Hello, and welcome to day 3 of our week of prayer. My name is Pastor James Ferber, and I oversee the youth and young adults here at Wilmot Center Church. You know, there's an interesting statistic with our current young people who are followers of Jesus. Barna research has shown that roughly 64% of people in their 20s will walk away from their faith. This is troubling for the church and the faith community, as these are the very people we need to build our community around. One of the greatest struggles in Christianity right now is figuring out how to pass the faith on to the next generation. The irony of that is that this is what Jesus did best. He formed a group of young adults as his key group of disciples and built the church around them. In our current book, Faith for the Exiles, that we're going through as we preach the current series, we read this generation is struggling with isolation and mistrust. Through mistakes the church has made or hurts from other believers, this generation is struggling more than any previous generation to trust and connect in a deeper way. What's the solution to this? Meaningful intergenerational relationships. We need mentoring relationships. We need connections from one generation to the next. This is what Jesus modeled, and yet this is where the church struggles more than maybe any other area. I think we can learn a lot from a man named Joshua. We read about Joshua first in Exodus 17, verses 8 to 16, as Moses selected Joshua to lead the battle against the Amalekites. After this, Moses would invite Joshua to follow him up onto the mountain, where he received the 10 Commandments. Moses would continue to invite Joshua into his life, even including the temple of the tabernacle. He was given special access. You know, we eventually read of Joshua being one of only 2 of the 12 spies, giving a good report about Israel being able to take the promised land. And later Joshua would become one of the greatest leaders in Israelite history. He would lead the people to victory after victory, and he would remain faithful to God all the days of his life. What was the key? You know, I believe it can be traced back to an intergenerational relationship. A man named Moses took the time to invest in this young man's life. You know, today, God is calling us to engage in meaningful relationships with not only our peers, but those outside our generation. This is how the next generation will be equipped. So here's my question for today. Are you a Moses or a Joshua? Here's another question. Do you have a Moses or a Joshua in your life? Are you in an intergenerational relationship? Today, during your time of prayer, I would urge you to take some time and pray about someone outside your generation. And if maybe you can't think of someone, ask God to put a name of a person on your heart. And then continue to pray for that person for the next 2 weeks. You know, and after that point, I would encourage you to try and connect with them personally. You know, we need more Joshuas in our world today, but it takes intergenerational relationships for those leaders to rise up. The only way our leaders of tomorrow will rise up is if we intentionally seek them out and help them along. So if you are a youth or young adult watching this, who's your Moses? Who have you connected with in an older generation? You know, we need each other, and we need the wisdom of the generations that have gone before us, and we need the courage of the younger generations. So my prayer today is that we can start to connect in a new way, and that we can start to connect intergenerationally. And I believe God's going to do that. So thank you for listening to today's devotion, and God bless. Have a great day.